Alright guys, welcome back. Not on Sundays here. I'm back out in the brew shed. It is coming up on springtime here in Georgia, and along with springtime brings along the reason I'm wearing these very stylish glasses here. I've got terrible seasonal allergies, so anytime I'm wearing these, that means I'm struggling. So bear with me. It's been a little off the last couple days. This is a 24 ounce Tuesday because technically it's going to be 24 ounces, but I'm not going to play by the so-called rules. I'm making up for last Friday. I did an F it Friday. It was abbreviated. I did what Victor Bruce said and and made a short video. But no, it was uncalled for. It was uncalled for that I did a half and half. Didn't do any tasting notes, nothing. Just the pour, and that is uncalled for. We don't do that kind of stuff, right? So I'm halfway making up for it right now, and really, I just felt like doing a half and half tonight. Like it felt like a half and half kind of Tuesday night. So here we go, man. I've remade a little cap for myself. On docket for tonight, we're going to give this a shot. It's the Stone Americano Stout. It's an Imperial Stout with espresso. This is 8.7%. And we're going right back. We're going right back to the Athena Paradiso. While I'm doing this, I'll talk about the one I did the other night, just as quick reparations for not saying anything about it. It was a pretty darn good beer. The Athena Paradiso itself, it's got that cranberry, raspberry, tart cherry, so it was just a twinge sour, tart. But it had those really nice fruit notes, and it played awesome with the double IPA that had a bunch of tropical citrus hops going on anyway. It's pretty darn cool. So yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was an awesome beer. So let's see what's going on here. We'll see how much head this is going to give. Oh, gracious me. Way more than I expected. So I've got one thing to talk about real quick. And maybe I'm just out of the loop here and just missed. I don't know. I'm really not trying to be picky here. When people talk about they're doing their half and halves, their black and tans, whatever we want to call these, everybody always talks about ABV. My question is, and again, I may just be missing the mark here. Really what goes in the black and tan is residual sugar, right? So which one is a higher finishing gravity should stay on the bottom because it's more dense, right? I believe that's the case. So regardless of what I'm picking out, I'm always going for whatever I believe ended out the sweetest, the highest finishing gravity. So here we go. There's the Americano Stout. Let's get a little Athena. Oh, there's another phone there. Oh, let's not get any beer on the phone. That would be preferable. Oh man, I was so successful with my first one. I don't know that I'm going to get... I don't know if it's going to be quite so kind the second time around. Oh, it's getting a little bit. It's not going to be nearly as cool and dramatic as the last one. But it'll do. Let's get this thing raised up just a wee bit. I think too much is coming out of one section of my little doohickey here. We got all the foam raising up as well. Oh, there's some separation there. Like I said, not quite as dramatic as last week's. And it looks better from my vantage point than it does for you. I'm the lighting master. So there we go. And this will be a 24-ounce Tuesday because I'm going to finish these 2 beers. Obviously, why would you not? But let's see if we can get a little better shot here. It's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. So we're going to jump into a couple things real quick while I'm drinking this baby. You can smell a little bit. I'm sitting on a cooler in the shed. A very dirty shed, by the way. Wow. Oh, going back to the one from Friday. That thing was so separated that as I drank it, I almost couldn't get the 2 beers to blend. I would sit and I would swirl it in this glass, trying to get them to blend, and they wouldn't do it. It was pretty crazy. I almost had to stir it with a spoon. So I'm not tasting much of the stout yet. Maybe just a twinge. Coming through some of those like tart cherry. Oh, so you get a little chocolate coffee cherry. Whoa. So what are we going to call this? This is the Americano Stout Athena Paradiso. I think we're going to call it American Paradise. Just a thought. All right. So, Belgian Wit is scaring me to death. I'm supposed to be serving that thing at my buddy's birthday party on Sunday, and the thing is not done fermenting. It's scaring me to death. I'm afraid I'm going to have to resort to wait until the last second and really force carving that thing, and I've never done it before. I don't want to start now, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have much of a choice. Oh, dang. It's like a chocolate coffee covered cherry raspberry deliciousness. Holy cow. Whoa. Success. And see how that's staying separated? Like, I've been drinking that pretty roughly, and I've barely gotten any of the stout. It's still separated so much. Anyway, all right, so the wit's worrying me. We're going to see how that works out. Second thing, I love my wife. My wife is awesome. She comes home and tells me the tale about how she schooled some kid he had to have been of drinking age, so not even necessarily just a kid, at Publix. He was trying to one-up her in beer knowledge and started going into sour stuff. She schooled him. My wife schooled this guy in sour beer knowledge. He tried to go all fancy, start talking about different varieties and breweries and ages and stuff of lambics and sours and barrel aged, and she took him to school. My wife is awesome. So cheers to that. Oh, now more stout. All right, next. Scores. I finally got my score sheets back from Peach State. Once again, blown away by how awesome and insightful all of those judges were. And great feedback. Go down the line real quickly. I did learn that I was being a little hard on myself, that even the ones that were the lowest end of my scores were actually relatively average. So I was being a little Debbie Downer about the couple didn't score well. So we'll do those two first. The Brett Current beer turned out everybody freaking loved it. But they said I declared the wrong base style. So when you put in a specialty category, you have to declare a base style, what you started out as. And so a lot of the judging is based on what you declare as the base style. and then what you built on top of that, which was the Brettanomyces and the currants. And I declared a Belgian Pale Ale, and that's what did it. They said, really good beer, need a little bit carbonation, but I knew that. They said awesome, phenomenal tasting, but wrong base style. Killed me. The wood-aged beer, the wood-aged Double, was exactly what I said it was. Not enough wine and not enough oak character. Could have been in there longer, so that was what it got called out for. And a little bit of kind of phenols here and there, a little bit high on the phenols, but that was kind of a mixed bag. Somebody said something about it, somebody didn't. And a little, maybe a twinge of banana on one of them that they said. But, so I got dinged a little bit for that as well. But still, from what I hear, a decently average beer, or average scoring beer. The beer tastes really well. Really, really good. It's still saying separated. Then the Berliner. Very, very clear feedback on that one. It was too sour. It was too tart and acidic. The feedback was directly pretty good drinking beer, but needed more malt behind it to balance out the acidity. Acidity was too high. But that's awesome. Very targeted. Something I can work on to get that closer style. I like it that tart, but it could use a little bit more malt backbone to it. And then the apricot lambic, the one that did the third place, turned out I actually got a 44. Not that it's that much higher than a 43.5, but I got a 44 from the two score sheets, not what was on the site. Pretty glowing feedback. There weren't a lot of critiques. Once you get up in the 44 and higher range, 45s where you go into the world-class category. So there's not a whole lot to pick apart. They said it could have been a little bit more. I declared it having a little bit of less carbonation, they said, which was perfectly fine. But they said a little bit more carbonation might have balanced the beer a little bit better. So that was pretty much the only critique. My favorite quote of the score sheets as a whole, the last line of one of the guys on the apricot lambic said, "I would buy this by the case," and I was like, "I'll take it. I'll take it." So cheers to that. Lastly, I'm gonna try and keep this under too long. I've been really trying not to buy beer lately, and I've been doing a really good job for a while now. I spend too much money as it is on homebrewing stuff. So I try not to buy a lot of commercial beer. I will buy ones here and there, especially specialty local stuff. I like supporting the local guys. But again, I try not to buy a lot, but I got the itch. And I caved in a little bit today. We get a decent amount of their stuff down here now that I've even tasted. But I hadn't tasted just their most generic IPA, Pernicious. So I got a bottle of the Pernicious. I found this one randomly. Has anybody heard of this brewery? This is, let's see, what's even the name of it's Urban Family Brewery out of Magnolia, Seattle. And it's called Lady of the Night. Is a dry hop sour. And it says the Lactobacillus soured ale dry hopped with Nelson and Azacca hops, which are two of the hops that I dry hopped my sours with. So I'm interested in this. Big tropical flavors partnered with a lactose sour punch. So I'm excited about that one. Pretty excited. There's one more. Let me grab it. Oh. You know what? Where did it go? I left it inside. So there was a couple more, and it's been over the last couple of weeks I'm talking about I purchased these. This is Heavy Bells from one of my favorite local breweries, Three Taverns. It is a bourbon barrel aged quad, and it is awesome. I had the 2015 not long ago, and just fantastic. I also got Sweetwater's 19th anniversary. It is a golden Belgian style ale, aged in Merlot and Cabernet barrels. So it's cool to see some of even the big guys down here in Atlanta are doing some cool stuff, and I like it a lot. The other one I found today that I bought, I decided to get, I struggled with the price. It was the barrel aged Yeti. And I love the Yeti series. It was one of the first beers that I fell in love with when I got into craft beer. So I caved and I bought the barrel aged Yeti. I'm gonna top this up with the Athena. Anyway, I feel like there was one last thing. Oh, to cap this off, the festival this weekend for my buddy's birthday was unbelievable. They tapped 90 beers at this place. And we're not talking like 90 run-of-the-mill beers. We're talking beers you can't get almost anywhere. And especially ones that maybe in different pockets of the country you might could find. But I mean, no way in the world you're getting them down here. For a very bottom of the line example, we got 2 beers from New Glarus here in Georgia. We had the Raspberry Tart and their double IPA, the Scream. We're talking we had just unbelievable beers. We were popping bottles. Wow. We were opening bottles in 30-minute increments. That's where I was stationed. And we had the chocolate-covered Dark Angel from Wicked Weed. Go look that thing up, man. To me, it was the beer of the day. It was ridiculously good. We had cases of Zombie Dust. It was unbelievably ridiculous. You can even go online on Facebook or their website, the Lincoln Fill Station in Snellville, and look at the list. It's just crazy. Oh, but anyway, guys, I'm at 17 minutes. I gotta get out of here. I'm loving the videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for getting my count up. I think I got a shout out from Tony Howard. Cheers to you, man. Thanks for watching, even us crazy Americans. And everybody, again, thank you for subscribing. Shoot me some comments. And I love watching all the videos, especially all the beer reviews. Dude, Victor, I'm going to send you some beers just so that I can watch you fumble through them and enjoy them, and we may have to work something out. All right, guys. Cheers. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Happy 24-ounce Tuesday. And it'll be 24 ounces after I finish this. So cheers. Y'all have a great week. Hope everybody's doing well. Y'all have a good one, man. You thought you were getting off that easy. 17 minutes, 18 minutes, that's not my style. I forgot. At the festival, the American barley wine went over well, the one that I made. For my taste, it's still a wee bit sweet, and I bet it'll balance out and be really cool with some age on it. But it went over really well. Most everybody loved it. It was kind of raving about it. So it made me feel good. It was really fun. Glad I could bring that to the party. And I think that's what a lot of people hit their nightcap with, and it did them in. I know it kind of did me. After the festival is over, a bunch of people hang around, and we kind of hit that keg. And at 11% after a beer festival, it'll do it to you. So, but it was good. Wanted to do that final update on that beer. I've got about a third of it left, so I'm not complaining. It's going to stick around. Cheers, y'all. Have a good week.